Starmer, I suspect, is worried that he's getting sidelined, and at the moment he's just finished a telephone conversation with Trump. He's preparing for this significant diplomatic encounter with the President of the United States. The meeting, set to take place in the coming weeks, represents an opportunity for Starmer to establish a working relationship with the unpredictable Trump administration. But the manner in which the UK is approaching this meeting has sparked considerable eyebrow rising or raising, with some viewing it as pragmatic diplomacy and others as excessive appeasement. One of the clearest indicators of Starmer's attempts to align with Trump's worldview is the UK's repositioning on artificial intelligence. The AI Safety Institute, initially designed to focus on the ethical, social, and security risks of AI, has now been rebranded as the AI Security Institute, and the shift away from concerns over bias and misinformation towards an emphasis on national security mirrors Trump's broader skepticism of so-called woke concerns and prioritization of economic and military competitiveness. The UK's decision not to sign the Paris AI Summit's joint communique, endorsed by 60 nations, further illustrates this alignment. The communique emphasised AI's ethical development and responsible governance, but the UK opted out reportedly to avoid alienating the United States. And critics argue that this move isolates Britain from its European partners in favour of a US-centric AI strategy that primarily serves American interests. I think when it comes to AI, we can't put the genie back in the bottle, and recognising that is a recognition of maturity. The diplomatic dynamic between Starmer and Trump was underscored by the unscheduled phone call between the two leaders, I believe, yesterday. Trump, known for his unorthodox diplomatic style, called Starmer via his personal envoy to the UK, Mark Burnett, during a dinner at Downing Street. And while Downing Street framed the call as routine, Trump later stated that it was Starmer who'd requested the meeting, reinforcing the perception that the UK is actively seeking the president's approval. Trump's remarks, stating that he didn't know what the upcoming meeting would be about, suggest that the initiative is coming entirely from the UK side, and Starmer's eagerness to meet Trump contrasts with a more cautious approach taken by some other world leaders who are wary of being seen as too close to an administration now, well, known for its unpredictability, assumed to be unpredictable, expected to be unpredictable. Beyond AI, there are clear strategic reasons for Starmer's outreach. The Trump administration has signalled its intent to impose heavy tariffs on European nations, and there's a concern in London that the UK could be caught in the crossfire. Securing exemptions on or favourable terms from Trump would be a major economic win, particularly at a time when the UK is struggling to establish new trade relationships post-Brexit. Additionally, Trump's stance on NATO and Ukraine poses challenges for UK foreign policy, and while Starmer has reaffirmed the UK's commitment to Ukraine's NATO accession and ongoing military support, Trump has been notably reluctant to make similar assurances. Indeed, there's even rumours that Trump is proposing to quit NATO himself. By engaging with Trump early, Starmer may be attempting to carve out a role as a key European interlocutor, ensuring that British security interests are protected in any negotiations over Ukraine's future. Starmer's approach, however, is not without risks. Aligning too closely with Trump is a problem for key European allies, particularly France and Germany, who've taken a more confrontational stance towards the US president. There's also the question of domestic political optics. Labour figures, including David Lammy, the Foreign Secretary, have previously been vocal in their criticism of Trump, with Lammy once calling him a neo-Nazi sympathising sociopath. Moreover, Britain's perceived eagerness to secure Trump's favour could backfire if the administration demands significant concessions, such as changes to UK data protection laws or closer security cooperation at the expense of regulatory independence. Some critics have argued that Britain's diplomatic leverage is being overstated, and that the US, with its vast technological and military resources, has little need for Britain and British cooperation beyond symbolic alignment in a meeting with the King. Ultimately, Starmer's engagement with Trump is a calculated risk. On the one hand, strengthening ties with the US is crucial for economic and security reasons, particularly given the UK's post-Brexit isolation. On the other hand, the approach risks alienating European allies and reinforcing perceptions of Britain as a subordinate player in the transatlantic relationship. Whether this gamble pays off will depend on whether Starmer secures anything from this meeting. If he can extract meaningful economic or security concessions, his efforts may be justified. However, if the meeting merely serves as a photo opportunity with little substantial outcome, it will reinforce criticisms that Starmer is too willing to appease a US president who is known for his transactional and erratic approach to diplomacy.